This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Friday, June 21st, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. The National Insurance Scheme, N.I.S, is being taken to task for discontinuing the survivor's benefits of an elderly woman. Matrice Hines tells Barbados Today her monthly payment of close to $650 was stopped 6 months ago based on a rumor that she had remarried. But the self-employed vendor is insisting she has no intention of remarrying after sharing 31 years with her husband, who passed away in 2014. Hines is calling for urgent action to resolve her matter.
Mentally, yes, it affects me a lot, and to my finances, it affects me a lot because I can't pay my bills. I scarcely could buy groceries for myself. My water bill, I already walk with it up to $4,000. I can't get it paid because ain't nothing for me to pay it with. And my bill, my money that they got is outstanding money that they got for me. And I think that I should get my money because ain't no proof. It means to tell me 6 months and then can't get no proof. Get a proof to find out if I remarried or don't remarried. It's just a phone call.
Still no relief. More than 2 weeks after pleading for help with an environmental nightmare in front of First Avenue Grisette's Main Road St. Michael home, Joan Weeks hasn't gotten any ease. In fact, the alleged psychiatric patient who has been taking discarded items from a nearby quarry and placing them in front of her house has added more. A frustrated Weeks is making a fresh appeal for help, saying a promised cleanup as part of a constituency community program hasn't materialized.
He bought this statue since then. He bought the carpets and there since then. What can we do? What can I, the resident of this district, do to get this thing removed? The MP promised us he will come and he will remove it. This is since last week Saturday. It coming another Saturday, so I do not know what next. I am just fed up. I am tired. You can't come out your house. Every time you come out your house, you see mess. Every time some person bring me home, they want to know what happened. Even a guy this morning telling me where they may know the dump move out here. So every day you get somebody saying something that come out in this area to pass to say something to you. This is all I'm saying. And no results. No results, that's all I can say.
Weeks says she's additionally concerned because this will be a hazard during the hurricane season.
We get a lot of rain, and I do hope that this year soon get eradicated. Another thing, this tree is a pest. So the tree coming down on the ground and got the thing look really nasty. I never had in front of my house like that. We always clean in front of the house. That when you come at the gap, out here look like this dump. I don't know. I lost.
Landfill managers are being told they must make a greater effort to minimize the risk of combustion associated with storing waste material. The advice comes from Fire Chief Errol Maynard. The top officer was speaking in the wake of 3 grueling days in which fire officers, private waste haulers, the Sustainable Barbados Recycling Center, SBRC, and Williams Industries battled a stubborn blaze at the SBRC's Vaucluse St. Thomas headquarters. Barbados Today's Karim Smith reports.
While officials at a joint press briefing on Wednesday could not address the issue of preventive measures to guard against future fires, the chief fire officer told Barbados Today that proper management is needed to reduce the likelihood of such occurrences. He said high levels of microbacteria and other forms of waste within the landfills increase the possibility of spontaneous combustion, making fire a constant threat and making careful monitoring and prudent management extremely critical. The blaze is the second at a landfill in the area over the last 2 months and raised questions from affected residents about what could be done to minimize the trend. On Wednesday, Chief Executive Officer of SBRC's parent company Williams Industries, Andrea Walcott, apologized to residents west of the landfill for the toxic fumes. Kareem Smith for Barbados Today.
Government summer camps are back. After a break for review last year, the Ministry of Youth and Community Empowerment announced yesterday that the program would run from July 15 to August 16 at 32 venues across the island. A ministry official says the summer camps have been remodeled to include more community-based programming while engaging the specialized skills, talents and experiences of volunteers within the community. The Youth Development Program will take the lead responsibility for the program, with youth commissioners actively engaged in the management of the camps.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In the region, the Antigua government plans to introduce interventions to assist troubled students. This follows the recent expulsion of 2 teens from a public high school. More in this ABS TV News report.
This video made rounds across Antigua. One student can be seen wrapping an electrical cord around another's neck, much to the enjoyment of his classmates. The Ministry of Education responded promptly, suspending multiple students pending an investigation. Once the investigation concluded, both the student with the electrical cord and the student recording the incident were expelled. Now, the government is stepping in to prevent future incidents in our schools.
There are forces that are affecting our young student population, and we have to be able to look beyond that.
Chief of Staff in the Prime Minister's Office, Ambassador Lionel Hurst, described the new initiative in the Cabinet Notes as a boot camp. Information Minister, the Honorable Melfred Nicholas, elaborated.
We are not just separating these young people and putting them in an ignore column in the society. We have to have a treatment beyond that.
Minister Nicholas says the government intends to mold at-risk youth into functioning members of society.
Looking at it purely from the standpoint of what the law prescribes, does not sufficiently deal with the social fallout that can sometimes happen.
Under the proposed new program, troubled youth will have the opportunity to learn a physical trade, including plumbing, carpentry, masonry, electrical and tiling, as well as automechanical repair.
Finally, Venezuela's opposition leader Juan Guaido is under scrutiny, with some of his envoys on the Colombian border facing corruption allegations. As we hear from Al Jazeera, they're accused of stealing funds meant to help military defectors living in Colombia.
More than 1,400 members of Venezuela's armed forces have fled to Colombia this year, heeding the call of opposition leader Juan Guaido to turn their backs on President Nicolás Maduro. At the time, Guaido praised their decision. Now, Guaido's representatives are being accused of stealing funds intended to help them. From Caracas, Guaido called for an investigation.
We will not allow any mismanagement to tarnish what has been an effort of all Venezuelans. That's why we immediately sent the information gathered by my ambassador to Colombia's Attorney General's office to give a thorough explanation to the country.
Guaido's ambassador in Colombia, Humberto Calderón, promptly met with Colombia's Attorney General requesting a formal investigation. But Venezuela's government authorities were quick to take advantage of the mishap, accusing Guaido of being behind the corruption scheme.
His representatives are materially responsible, but Guaido is the mastermind.
The alleged theft is a blow to the opposition that has frequently accused Maduro of large-scale corruption, one of the causes, they say, for the economic and humanitarian crisis that Venezuela has endured for years.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screen play at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.